and they did a redraw. All 12 of those cars, luck of the draw, to see where they were going to be on their starting positions here tonight at the Bakersfield Speedway. Like I said, heavy hitters on the front row, and your lineup will look like this. On the pole for the Budweiser Nationals, 34th running right here at the Bakersfield Speedway. On the inside is the 198 of the Rebel Rouser, Robbie Sawyer. And on his outside, looking for his fourth guitar of 2019, Ethan Dotson.
On the inside of row number 2, driving the number 41, great starting position for Napomo, California driver Danny Lauer. To his outside in the 6M, all the way from Oregon, Matt Jenner.
On the inside of row number 3, the 15B of the Dominator, Brad Pounds. And on his outside, the 3AC of Austin Kiefer.
In the number 21 on the inside of row number 4, out of Ventura, California, that is Austin Rodarte. And his outside in the 715,
Clark.
That's not Clark Guglielmani in the 715. But it says Clark Guglielmani, so we're going to
go with it. We'll go with Clark Guglielmani in the 715.
Caught me off guard there.
Inside row number 5 in the 17, it's Steve Nolan. Out on his outside, the 98 of Alex Stanford.
In the 5L on the inside of row number 6, that is Cody Laney. To his outside in the 13, Jerry Flippo.
Then you'll pick up the C9 of Colin Wallenberger and the 28 of Trevor Fitz.
In the 38T, Dylan Thornton. The 44RX, Shane DeVolder.
Then it's Ricky Childress and Daryl Hughes.
Sean Nedstadt in the 1-02 is Cody Schlapp. In the 48K, Colin Hibden. The 11XX, Rob Sanders, green flag. Here we go. IMCA Modified Feature underway. 40 laps is the scheduled distance. Am I right when I say that?
40 laps is the distance for night number 2 here at the Bakersfield Speedway. Big time move already from Ethan Dotson in the 175. On the outside of turns 3 and 4, coming to the stripe to lead lap number 1.
Robbie Sawyer right there with him down the front stretch into turn number 1, running second. Going to switch it up to the high side. Caution is out. Big stack up in turn number 3. Dylan Thornton in the 38T. I believe we have the 1 of Nettenstadt I can see out there. Who else is involved in that?
That's the 24 of the Outlaw Ricky Childress, the 11X.
Colin Hibden involved. Wow.
That happened up towards the front of the field.
John, I was watching the race for the lead into turns 1 and 2. I didn't see what happened. Did you happen to catch that?
I did. I was looking at the same thing as you as turn 1 and 2 when all of that happened. At about halfway through the field.
Well, we watched the yellow lights come on. Both of our heads snap back to turn 4. That's an unfortunate start for some of these guys. Dylan Thornton's had a pretty good weekend so far, debuting a brand new race car.
That is a brand new 2019 Twisted Chassis by Clay Daly, and that's Salty's Barbecue and Catering number 38T, debuted at the Budweiser Nationals this year in 2019.
And he's had a pretty clean weekend so far. Other than that right there, I mean, that's been kind of the worst of the worst for him, but got the car back under his own power. He'll restart at the back of the pack.
And earlier in the evening when I was walking the pits, I did see a sticker, a for sale sign on the front of that car.
So I would talk to him about that, and they said, yeah, it's kind of the running joke. It was priced at $7,000. And I said, this car's for sale already? He says, no, it's a running joke. Clay Daly, the car builder, comes over as we were talking about it, sees the for sale sign, looks at it and reads it, says, nope, don't want it. It's an Evo. It's his own car. He built the thing. Yeah, it was pretty funny, but unfortunate for Thornton. He'll have to scratch on the field, the back of the pack.
You can see not very much damage on that 38T, so it looks like it wasn't a very hard contact. It's just something going wrong. Somebody getting into maybe somebody in the back of somebody as they stacked up going into turn number 3 on lap number 1.
Well, all those cars are still running under their own power, and they're on the track. So we haven't lost anybody. That's good. We've only got 1 lap down. We got 39 to go. Ethan Dotson, your leader. Robbie Sawyer runs second. Matt Jenner, Danny Lauer, and the 3AC Austin Kiefer, your top 5. Then it's Brad Pounds. I guess it's Guglielmani in the 715. That's what it says on the paperwork. Until I can confirm that, I guess we're going to call it that. Who was right there with him? That is the 21.
The 21 of Austin Rodarte from Ventura, California.
Thank you. Then it's Jerry Flippo, Cody Laney.
And is that the 715 of Guglielmani, the 28 of Trevor Fitzgibbon, the 17 of Steve Nolan, and the 44 machine of Shane DeVolder from Pacifica, California?
Behind DeVolder is the 28 of Daryl Hughes. Then it's Childress, Sanders, Hibden, Schulp, and Thornton at the back of the pack.
We have a lot of heavy hitters out front. 1 lap into it, it's Ethan Dotson. Lights are out. Green flag flying, this time off of turn number 4. Nice slow pace from Ethan Dotson. Stacks up the field. We're coming to the green flag. We'll be under green once again for the 2019 Budweiser Nationals.
Very good start for Ethan Dotson. Kind of took a higher groove on the entry, ran down the hill as he got on the throttle, and he gets away from the rest of the field. Him and Sawyer pulled away just a bit down the backstretch. Both those drivers working the high side through turns 3 and 4. It is Ethan Dotson, all kinds of hooked up tonight.
Ethan Dotson in. The Rebel Rouser, Robbie Sawyer on the high side of turns 1 and 2. Lauer and Kiefer down on the bottom in turns 1 and 2. Outside of them is the 6M of Matt Jenner. Matt Jenner, Danny Lauer, and Kiefer throw a blanket over him at the stripe. Here we go.
Well, right now, while everybody races for position behind your leaders, it is Dotson and Sawyer getting away from the pack. About 6 car lengths separating those two drivers. And then another 6 from Sawyer back to third place. Sawyer with the right rear quarter panel up on the turn 4 wall.
A car that didn't make night number 1, but making all kinds of progress in night number 2 is that 98 of Alex Stanford, working on that 3-wide battle on the back straightaway between Lowry, Kiefer, and the 6 machine of Jenner.
Alex Stanford always fast everywhere he unloads, having a good run going here so far, given the fact he's only been with us just today.
Now we got Cody Laney working the bottom side. They're 3 wide down the back straightaway.
Wow.
Stanford sandwich in the middle.
Laney on the bottom of Stanford and Hughes up on the top side. No, that is Jenner. I apologize for that. Laney now starting to pick off some positions, working on the 3AC of Austin Kiefer. Kiefer last night had a very good run going.
Ethan Dotson has a straightaway lead over the Rebel Rouser, Robbie Sawyer, in the 198. The number 3 spot is Danny Lauer in the 41 machine down there working the bottom with Cody Laney right behind him in the 5L.
Right here is where things start to change, John. Your leader, Ethan Dotson, has caught the back of the pack. He's got a lot of lap cars just ahead of him. This could be enough to let Robbie Sawyer reel him in and challenge for that top spot. Heavy traffic coming up right in front of your leader.
Your leader, 8 laps down, make it 9 this time by. Already working on traffic. He's looking at the backside of the 1 car of Sean Nunstead from Furley, Nevada. First car to be going a lap down.
Can guarantee Robbie Sawyer right now planning his next move as they get into traffic, hoping it's going to hold Ethan Dotson up enough to get to the backside of his bumper so he can challenge for the top spot. And he is reeling him in here in the last couple of laps.
Right here, you do have to save a little bit of tire. This is a very long race on a G60. We're going 40 laps. We're only 10 laps in. We'll see what they have left towards the end of this 40-lap A main event.
Ethan Dotson getting by the 1 of Nattenstedt, putting him a lap down.
Now
he has wasted no time going through traffic. Impressive run going from the 175 of Dotson.
Hogan squeezed by lap traffic down the front straightaway was Ethan Dotson just sneaking by.
3 wide at the flag stand.
7:15 of Clark Guglielmani. That is what is on our sheet. That's what we're going to call it. Now they're side by side in front of second place of Robbie Sawyer in the Woodworks Unlimited number 198. Robbie Sawyer trying to get through traffic. Ethan Dotson able to do so very well, very clean. A little bit more struggle for the 198 of Robbie Sawyer. Running third is that 5L of Cody Laney, able to get himself away from Alex Stanford and Danny Lowry. Now we got the Dominator Brad Pound trying to go 3 wide off of turn number 4. This is the battle for the 4th position. Alex Stanford holds it right now as he drifts his way up to the highs of the turns 1 and 2. Danny Lowry on the outside as well. Then here comes the C9 machine of Colin Weinberger from Corbett, Oregon, piloting the Rickenback Automotive number C9.
Weinberger trying to work on the 98 of Stanford. Stanford looks very good on the high side of the racetrack. Trouble in turns 3 and 4. Looks like that's the 715 machine. We need to confirm if that is Clark Guglielmani behind the wheel. Up on the apron down there in turn 4. 16 laps down, 16 down. Just past the halfway point, John. It has been high speed so far.
Not quite there to the halfway. We were going 40 laps.
40
in
laps.
This one, so
40. I apologize.
24 more green flag racing action laps coming at you.
40 laps, a lot of racing for the IMCA Modifieds. Normally these guys 30, 35 laps, but
30 is a long main
that's
event.
That's about where we're at, where I'm from.
For these modifieds, especially here, week in, week out, our main events range from 25 to 30 laps here on the High Bank 1/3 mile clay oval here at the Bakersfield Speedway on our weekly division. So a 40-lap feature is a very long race for these local modified drivers.
Well, we had the caution on lap number 1. Since then, it's been a quick 15 laps to get us to lap number 16. Our running order at the front, you have Ethan Dotson. Running second is Robbie Sawyer. Your third-place car, Cody Laney. Right behind him is Alex Stanford. Rounding out the top 5 is the C9 of Colin Weinbarger. And right behind him is Danny Lauer.
And don't look now, but right behind him is the dominator, Brad Pounds. Brad Pounds has picked up victories here for the Budweiser Nationals. Looking to do another one, but he's got a long way to go if he wants to get to those top 3 runners. They were stretched out very well. And when they got into traffic, Ethan Dotson was working like a surgeon, getting around those lapped cars.
Unbelievable how he went through that heavy traffic ahead of him, wasting no time. I don't think he lifted the throttle, did he?
I don't think he backed off one bit. He stretched his lead by 5-6 cars once he got past those lap cars, and Robbie Sawyer got to that same traffic. It took Robbie Sawyer 3 or 4 more laps to get around those lap cars than it did for Ethan
And we
Dotson.
were talking about how the lap traffic might hang up the one of Ethan Dotson and let Sawyer reel him in. Exact opposite happened. Sawyer got stuck in the traffic. Dotson got away from him.
You can see the mechanical black flag in the hand of our flagman. Hopefully that doesn't come out for the Rebel Rouser, Robbie Sawyer. As you can see the sheet metal hanging off of the right rear of that vehicle. We'll see who the mechanical is going to go for. It is for the Rebel Rouser, Robbie Sawyer, for sheet metal on the right rear, dragging the racetrack. So Robbie Sawyer is not happy.
Now Robbie Sawyer trying to work the car to get that metal to come off. I'll guarantee you he does not want to pull off this racetrack. You can see him trying to work that car to get that metal to fall off. Very, very smart move by Sawyer.
That is a veteran driver. He may not be he may be 35, 36 years old, but that young man has been in a race car all of his life,
yes.
And he's a very, very seasoned veteran of racing, is Robbie Sawyer in the 198.
And the crazy part about that, with that piece, if this was just a regular race during the season, somebody might come up, help him knock it loose. This is Bud Nationals. Ain't nobody coming near that thing right now. They're all looking at it going, it needs to stay on there so they can make that one spot up.
Boy, that is a bold move.
He's trying everything.
Bold move by Robbie Sawyer. Now, do we get the 3-lap rule with the black flag deal? You get 3 laps to kind of, well, we'll see what he can do here if he can get that piece of metal. Look at him scrape. Look at the sparks flying off the right rear here under caution.
They're telling him off now.
See what he's trying to do is stay behind the leader coming to the stripe.
If they get him off, they can pull it off and he can come back on the track.
Well, that's going to put him at the back of the pack either way.
Yeah, either way, he's got to go off the track. They gave him the black and white. It's simple as that.
Now it's got a lot of work, and he was looking good in the second spot. That could be a heartbreaker for the 198.
That's going to now move Cody Laney in the 5L up to the number 2 spot. Cody Laney, they have been stablemates running back east in Iowa all summer long, has Ethan Dotson and Cody Laney, and you can tell what caliber of racers they have back east. Those kids have gone back there and done so well. Winning the Super Nationals in Boone, Iowa was the 175 of Ethan Dotson.
And the 5L finished third. These guys more like brothers than anything. We talked about that in the pit area today. Both drivers, incredible talents behind the wheel of a modified, and now find themselves running first and second.
Robbie Sawyer back on the track after that, so he's all cleared to go. Fans of modified racing, if you want to see action and entertainment, you just got it, because the Rebel Rouser now has to start scratch with 24 laps left to go. He's going to work his way up there in a hurry.
Green flag back out for the IMCA Modified Feature. It's Laney way down in the gutter with Ethan Dotson running right around the top side of the racetrack. Alex Stanford was on the high side out of turn 2, dives to the bottom of turn 3, while Cody Laney jumps up to the top side. They swap lines to turns 3 and 4.
Making his way through the field now.